For today's install, we're gonna need masking tape, either a flathead screwdriver or panel popper, a ratchet, an extension, and a 10mm socket. Welcome to Spyder Auto. Today we're going to be installing LED headlights on a 2016 to 2021 Toyota Tacoma. After opening the hood, you're going to want to remove the sonar sensor harness, which is this connector here, and release the harness from the bracket that holds the grille on the vehicle. First, there's a tab on the bottom of this connector. Depress it and pull back. I'll show you the tab here. You're going to want to squeeze that while pulling the connector out. And then with the flathead screwdriver, you're going to push these tabs in while pulling the harness down, and that'll release the harness from the bracket. Move that out of the way. All right, next step, we're going to remove these panel clips. I'm using a panel popper here. Slide under there, pop the tab up, and then get the panel popper underneath that and pop the entire clip out. There's one on each side. If you don't have a panel popper, you can use a small flathead screwdriver, doing the same thing, popping the center out and getting that underneath, pulling the entire clip out like that. All right, next we're going to remove two 10mm bolts that support the grille. And the second one on the opposite side. Next, we're going to remove the grille. You're going to lift these brackets up over the clips there. After lifting the brackets up over those retention clips, you're going to want to grab the grille firmly and pull away from the vehicle. Next, we're going to release the fender liner. First step, to unlock this clip here, pulling that out. Next, using a 10mm socket, I'm going to release the fender flare from the bumper. This 10mm bolt here. There's also another one right under here. And there's another 10mm bolt down here. So the extension comes in handy. Once those are all taken off, you can peel back the inner fender liner to access the back of this fender flare. After accessing the inside of your bumper through the fender liner, the purpose for that is you're going to try to release these three tabs here that are locked into your bumper. You'll reach around the inside and you'll feel with your fingers these little grooves. Press those in as you're pulling the fender out to release those three. On the top, there's going to be a little blue clip that is attached to the inside of this fender flare. You'll be able to fill two tabs, one on each side, here and here. Squeezing those while you're pulling the fender flare out, we'll release it so you have enough room to loosen up the bumper. Once you release the fender flare, you're gonna use your painter's tape, masking tape, to line up this area to reduce from damages or scratches. Next step, we're going to remove 4 10mm bolts from the bottom of the bumper, starting with this one here. There's also one on the opposite side. And then on the center of the truck, you're going to remove these two that hold the bumper onto your frame. Last one from the opposite side. All right, next we're gonna remove 4 panel clips and the fog light harness using your panel popper tool or a small flat blade screwdriver. Pop the centers up, pull the whole fastener up and out. For this one here, you're gonna slide your tool underneath. Press down on this tab here. Slide out. This is for your fog lights, so there's no need to disconnect the fog lights from each side. This will keep them all together on the bumper. All right, and then you have 2 panel clips here. Remove that. And also one on the opposite side. Now that all the hardware has been removed, we can start separating the bumper from the fender. First step, you're gonna see the black tab here. You're gonna pull the bumper out and over and start snapping the bumper away from the fender. Repeat the same process on the opposite side. Once that's done, you can firmly hold onto your bumper and pull forward. Three 10mm bolts, first on the side. All right, next the 2 on the top. To make it easier to access the headlight, I should remove this flap here, radiator shroud piece, panel clip, pop that out. All right, next we're gonna lift these tabs up and slide the headlight inward. Slide this part out of that clip there. All right, we're gonna remove the factory harness by depressing the little tab, pulling out. This one here, tab here, depress that. Pull that out. Same for this light. The side marker bulb, you can twist counterclockwise and pull out we're gonna be using the same socket, but you can remove the bulb that's in it. All right, next we're gonna connect the new Spyder light. First we're gonna start off with the side marker with the bulb removed with the original socket. You're gonna match up the black wire with the ground, which in this truck application is gonna be the white with the black stripe. Line those two up, insert the connector, and then take that socket and install with a counterclockwise turn. Next, we're going to take the turn signal and parking light socket, connect that, listen for that audible click, and then the low beam. Make sure you line up the tabs here. Listen for the click. The high beam, same thing. You're all set. Line up your headlight. Clip in the tab down here. Clip in the tabs on the top. We're going to reinstall the headlight. Fastening 2 10mm bolts from the top. One 10mm on the side. We recommend that before you put everything back together, do a quick function test to make sure the lights are working. I'm going to reinstall this radiator shroud. You're going to line up 3 tabs here on this side, top, middle, bottom, with this hole here, this hole, and this hole. Like that. Take your plastic fastener, line that up here, and secure. All right, next step, we're gonna reinstall the bumper. This is if you have a buddy readily available, that would probably be the best. If not, you start with one side. Like that. Install the clips here. Same on opposite side. Then you got the 4 in the center. Reconnect your fog light harness, securing the harness there, clipping that back in. All right, before reinstalling the fender flare, you're gonna remove your painter's tape, masking tape. Then line up your tabs on the inside. Snap it back into place. And then you're going to realign your inner fender. Making sure this black tab here sandwiches the bumper, like so. Make sure it's all aligned. Press this back in and lock it back in place. With their two 10mm bolts. Fasten those back in. Reinstall this 10mm bolt on the bottom here. Next, we're going to reinstall the grille. Make sure you line up these tabs here, side and bottom. Snap it all back in place. Next, we're going to reinstall this plastic fastener. Repeat the same process on the other side. Reinstall the two 10mm bolts. Next, you're going to reinstall the bolts on the bottom of the bumper, starting with the outside ones. We're going to reinstall the 10mm bolts securing the bumper to the frame. 1 and 2. Don't forget to reinstall your sonar sensor. Now that we're done with the install, let's close the hood and do a function test.